Yo, Jon Jones, Conor McGregor, not on the UFC White House card. Are you excited about the UFC White House card? Were you sold on a dream that this card was going to be more than what you could imagine? And come to find out that is nothing less than what you told. Did Dana White overhype this particular card? Let's talk about it. Plus, Keith Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora goes down in 2 weeks. Not only that, we got some massive NFL trades that we can talk about right here. Likeable Dialogue.
Shout out to Likeable Dialogue.
Oh, man. So, first off, for starters, let me be the first one to tell you that I'm a casual when it comes to the UFC. I'm a casual. I'm going to be 100. I'm not going to fake you. I'm not going to do any of the above. I'm a casual when it comes to the UFC. But I've been watching it. And I know big fights go down every weekend with the UFC. I know this, right? Big fights all the time with the UFC. However, what I've noticed is that I was sold on a White House card that is eventually subpar to what actually is going to take place. Give me 1 second. Let me read this, guys. I got this tech guy online. So give me 1 second. It says the credits automatically stores regard of viewership. The difference is related to the performance, practice, quality. Blah, blah, blah. All right, wait, as long as they rescore my credits. All right. So back to the UFC. UFC, man. I'm really disappointed at the White House card. We was told that Jon Jones, some of the heavy hitters was going to be on this White House card. That's what we was told. Now, like I said, I'm going to be the first to tell you that I am a casual when it comes down to the UFC. I'm a casual. But we were sold on a dream that the UFC was going to have the biggest names of them all. Yes, they got some big names on the UFC White House card. Yes, they do. But they're not fighting the people that we thought that they were going to fight. And I understand that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I get it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But this UFC card was supposed to have none other than the baddest man on the planet on there. We were supposed to have the baddest man on the planet on this UFC card, but in actuality, we don't have the baddest man on the planet on this UFC card. HG, my boy. Hand grenade, I need your help with this discussion tonight, my brother. So if you want me to send you a link, you could or you could just call in on the phone. You ain't gotta show your face. But I need your help tonight with this man, because I thought about you, my boy. My boy HG says the White House card is freaking trash. You can tell Dana is no longer running the UFC. He's just an employee now. Damn. Yo. And what's so crazy about that? Ronda Rousey said the same thing, that Dana White is not in charge of the company no more. And you can see that he's not running it no more because you can see the matchups that we're getting. Now, I'm going to go on a limb again, and I'm going to say this once and for all again. Yes, I am a casual when it comes to the UFC. I'm learning it. But as a casual, I was sold on the fact that we were going to get the hottest UFC card ever. But we are not getting the baddest UFC card. We're getting a subpar card. We were supposed to have the baddest man on the planet, Jon Jones. We're not getting it. If the UFC can go and give a guy that is mid-level, not to the height of a Jon Jones, $15 million for one fight, who is absolutely trash, Conor Ben, Conor who, Conor when, Conor trash, but they can't give Jon Jones, Mr. Bones himself, who put on many of a clinic. They can't give Jon Jones $30 million. I get it. UFC is going to take a pay cut because it's not in a stadium. They're not going to have thousands of fans. I get it. But Dana White sold us on this card that we were going to get none other than Jon Jones himself. Shout out to Cleveland Grant 9391. My boy say Jon is retired. I get it. But we was supposed to get Jon Jones himself, though. Dana sold us on it. Dana White sold us on this card. So it's only right that a guy like me, now again, Cleveland Grant, I don't know if you new to the channel. I think I seen you before here on the channel, man. But anyway, welcome to the channel. But again, I'm gonna be straight up with you, Cleveland, that I am a casual with the UFC. I'm keeping it 100 with you, Cleveland. I am a casual when it comes to the UFC. But I've been watching it for a little bit of time, so I'm not all the way up to date on it. But what I do know is that I was sold on this card that Jon Jones, probably Tom Aspinall, all of these big hitters was going to be on this card. Yes, I know I'm a casual, but I was sold that all of these heavy hitters was going to be on this UFC card. But unfortunately, all these heavy hitters that I was told that was going to be on this card is not on this card. Shout out to that boy DT out there making that money out there. My boy say, I'm convinced UFC has an issue creating new stars. They lean on certain names heavy. They do. Hey guys, and let me know if you guys cannot hear me, okay? Because my microphone is sort of kind of like pushed away. So let me know if you guys having any issues with hearing me, okay? I want to make sure you guys can hear me because I went back and I watched my last podcast that we did, because sometimes I go back because I be having so many topics that I be want to talk about and I be forgetting to mention them. So when I went back and I watched the last podcast that we had, I was like, damn, I forgot to mention this. And then I noticed that the audio wasn't all the way clear. So please, guys, let me know if the audio isn't clear so we can get that audio clear. But DT says, I'm convinced UFC have an issue with creating new stars. They lean on certain names heavy. They do. And it's like a repeating cycle with them. Like they keep getting the same names to fight over and over again. Cleveland says, Dana has lost his touch with his fighters. Number one, we can hear you. Shout out to Cleveland. Go Cleveland, my brother. Make sure you press that subscribe button. And everybody that is watching right now, please go do me a favor and go and press that like button so we can get into the viewership of other people that might like this sort of kind of content. But here's the thing with Dana White. I even like researching this topic and just overhearing this topic like over and over again. Even Conor McGregor is frustrated with the UFC White House card. He's like, Why can't I be on this White House card? But they want him for the international card. But this is the card that you promised us about. This is the card that you told everybody that this is going to be the biggest, the baddest, the whatever the biggest, the baddest, the boldest card that we ever going to see is the White House card. This is the once in a lifetime opportunity for me. I've never seen nothing like this. So, and for me as a casual that is watching the UFC, I'm going to put that out there again. As a casual watching the UFC, I was looking forward to seeing Tom Aspinall because I know who Tom Aspinall is. Tom Aspinall said they reached out to him. He heard nothing. Shane O'Malley just probably recently was talked to about being on the UFC White House card, but guess what? It wasn't against the person that they asked him, who do you want to go up against on this White House card? He provided the name, they gave him somebody else. The matchmaking in UFC, a lot of people is questioning it. A lot of people is questioning it because why aren't people being able to fight the fighters that they want to fight? You saying that that's the biggest problem in boxing. Dana White saying the problem is none of these fighters, the biggest and the baddest fighters, don't want to fight each other in boxing. But yet, you're doing the same thing in the UFC. Shane O'Malley good, but Jon Jones is better. And then you got your star. It's like football. You got your star receiver and Conor McGregor who's saying, I want to be on this card, but yet they want me to be on the international card. So the question that I'm going to propose to you guys tonight, and I like the question that DT put out there. When he says he convinced that UFC have an issue with creating new stars. They lean on certain names heavy. Do you guys agree with that? Because I sort of kind of agree with that. Alex Pereira. We've seen the same Shane O'Malley. We've seen these same people over and over and over and over again. Give me somebody new. As a casual, I kind of agree with him. DT says, yeah, Cleveland, them boys looking at them Zofa deals. My boy say, Dana has lost his touch with his fighters. The fighters want more money, but Dana don't want to pay them. But Dana White messed up when he went at Conor Ben with a $15 million offer. Is that what we doing now? You cannot convince me that Conor Ben is worth $15 million for one fight. Yeah, he fought on Netflix before. Yeah, that was cool and dandy. But Conor Ben, we've known Conor Ben for being a cheat in the sport. Allegedly. But here's the thing. Conor Ben is not known more than Jon Jones. If Tom Aspinall himself can come out and say, yo, everything that I've been through with Jon Jones is worth $30 million or whatever he's asking for. He's worth it. Give the man the $30 million, put him on a White House card. And Jon Jones came out with a tweet. Let me see if I can find that tweet because I did take a screenshot of that tweet. I hate when I do this. When I take screenshots of stuff, I can't find it. I took a screenshot of a tweet that Jon Jones did. Here it is right here. Let me get it to the channel. Where he talked about him having arthritis or whatever the case may be, arthritis in his hip, or whatever the case may be, right? Let's get that image, let's get that tweet up from Jon Jones, Mr. Bones himself. And we're going to read this tweet because they apparently they reached out to him and they just sort of kind of left it at that. They couldn't come to an agreement. Here's the tweet from Jon Jones himself. Hey, everyone. I want to address Dana White's comment from the past weekend because the truth matters to me and the fans. Dana, you were heated about why I'm not on the White House card. But let's be clear, something's up. My team and I were actually negotiating with the UFC for the fight. Real negotiations. I've even came down from my original number, which was said to be 30 million. I was lowball. I came down from my original number, and what was I offered in return? I was lowball. This is what Jon Jones had to say, guys. Yes, I have arthritis in my hip, and it's painful, but that doesn't mean I can't fight. So let's get this straight. This is what Jon Jones had to say for the people that is just now tuning in. So let's get this straight. If I had accepted the lowball offer, suddenly my hip would be fine and I'll be on the White House card. That doesn't make sense. I even received stem cell treatment last week to get ready for the White House card. And training camp was scheduled to start today. I was preparing to be ready. I understand business deals fall through sometime, but going out publicly and saying things that aren't true isn't right. After everything I've given to the UFC, the years, the title defenses, the fights, the hearings, I'm done. It is disappointing, especially as recently as Friday. UFC calling me, trying to get me on that White House card for a much lower number. If it's the UFC truly feels like I'm done, then respectfully, I ask to be released from my contract today. Nothing more spins, no more spins, no more games. Thank you, real fans. Who knows what's up? Hey, Jon Jones seems like a person who was ready to be on the White House card. But it looks like he put an offer and then they lowballed him with another offer. So it ultimately comes down to, was it that Jon Jones couldn't fight because of the arthritis? Or is it because he didn't accept the lowball offer that you offered this guy? But yet, you can go offer Conor Ben, who is trash, who is garbage, who is just despicable, a fight to fight Regis Prograis for $15 million. I really hope Regis Prograis is training right now. And I really hope Regis Prograis go out there and beat the HELL out of Conor Ben. And I'm going to tell you right now, I will not be tuning in to that fight. I would not. My boy DT says Conor Ben would not have got that deal anywhere else. He was not, because he's a support fighter. He come out lightning and striking and with the energy, but then all of that dwells as the rounds go on. He beat it a dehydrated, depleted guy on Netflix, Chris Eubanks. Chris Eubanks was depleted, but you didn't want to run it back because it's 1-1. He demolished you the first fight, Conor. You know it. HG, my guy, man. Shout out to HG. HG, man, I need you to stick with me on this topic tonight, my guy. There's no real fighters in the UFC who's Dana going to make into a star attraction, global icon, no character or villains personalities. This generation of fighters suck. Shout out to the HG. Cleveland says, right, low balling fighters. But you give Conor Ben a fight, which is just you give Conor Ben a fight in which I just cannot understand because Conor Ben is just garbage. The big question here I have for you guys is, why are the two biggest names in MMA not on this card? And we discussed it. It's because they don't want to pay them. This is the biggest card, the most historic card. Forget about UFC 100. Forget about UFC 200. This is the biggest card. So many eyeballs is going to be on this card because they fighting at the White House, on the White House lawn. The White House within itself is historic. Come on, man. Fans expected huge stars like Jon Jones and Conor McGregor to headline. Jon Jones, the baddest man on the planet. Jon Jones is still considered by many the GOAT of MMA, and he is not on this card. Tom Aspinall went out on a record, on a limb to say, out of everything that I've been through with Jon Jones, he deserved to be on this card. I'm a casual, and I'm disappointed that Jon Jones is not on this card. Dana, you lied to me. You lied to the people. Yes, I'm a casual, but I understood this card, and I kept my eye on this card, and I said this gonna be the baddest card. The UFC going to the White House. Woo! Ric Flair. But yet, we don't have the baddest man on the planet on this white card. You have superstars and Ronda Rousey saying that this White House card suck, and Dana White knows this White House card suck. People are calling you the employee. Dana, you got some plug in this UFC card fight. You do. You got some authority in this, Dana. You have to go out there and pull them people to the side saying, hey, look, this is what these people are saying. We still got time to go and redo this card to make it the biggest, the baddest, whatever. It's going to top numbers either way because it's on the White House and everybody is going to watch it because it's on the White House. So the numbers, it's still going to be through the roof. But you got a guy in Tom Aspinall who did the Trump dance, his last fight, pointed at Trump, did the Trump dance, and wanted to be on that White House card, begged you. But the matchmakers, I'm not going to blame Dana. I'm going to blame the matchmakers. The matchmakers couldn't somehow figure out how to get Jon Jones on this card. Very disappointing. Very, very, very disappointing. I'm going to tell you that much. Dana, Hand Grenade says, Dana with Turkey. So, of course, Zuffa is paying boxers top dollar. Zuffa is Dana's company, and the UFC is not anymore. TKO, it's the same TKO is the same company that bought the UFC, which is over WWE. Nick Khan, all of them, like they the same people. But TKO, what are we doing? DT says, personally, I'm not a fan of the White House thing. This is very tacky to me. I agree. But I won't indulge into like political views and stuff because I don't like to talk about politics on the channel. But I agree with what you're saying. But we got it. So we just have to talk about it. HG says, Conor's trying to rejuvenate his contract because a lot of his money come from pay-per-view deals, and that's no longer available. Dana said he offered Jon 15 and Jon wanted more for the White House event. Yeah, he offered him 15, but how can you can't offer him 15 when y'all giving Conor Ben 30 million, 15 million. You got to at least give Jon 20. 25. You got to give Jon Jones at least 20, 25. Got to. And it's all because of Conor Ben, man. Conor Ben messed up a lot. Conor Ben messed up a lot of things because we should be getting Jon Jones on this card. Jon Jones supposed to be on this card. Conor McGregor supposed to be on this. This is supposed to be the biggest, the baddest, the whatever. This is supposed to be that. And we're not getting that. Jon Jones is considered to be the GOAT to many. Heavy dominance in his legacy. Contract negotiations could take a factor as to why he couldn't get this done. True. Injury or timing as to why he couldn't get this done. True. But as he stated, had he took the low ball offer, would the injuries be a situation as to why he's not being in this card? Had he took that low ball offer, maybe he would have been in this card. Yet Conor McGregor is still the biggest draw. But like my boy HG says, pay-per-view is no really longer a thing. It's streaming is the new thing. You know? I don't know, man. This really like frustrates me, man. But all I can say is this really do frustrates me. But I really do think that Jon Jones, Conor McGregor should have been on this card. But like, yeah, we got Sean O'Malley, Alex Pereira, but they not fighting the people who we think that they should have been fighting for this card to be top notch. You know what I'm saying? Jon Jones became the youngest UFC champion at age of 23. Jones has held the titles at lightweight and heavyweight. Many of his wins against former champions and elite fighters. So why wouldn't you give a guy like Jon Jones the opportunity to be on this card, especially when you have fighters that are campaigning for this guy to be on that same card? I don't know, man. It's this whole situation with Dana White and the UFC is just really, really tricky. I thought this UFC card was going to be good. I think I got Ronda Rousey. Let me see if I have that Ronda Rousey clip. And she pretty much broke it down and said that, I don't have it. Damn, I thought I had it. I mean, I can go in there and screen share it to y'all, but I don't have it. At least I don't see it on this computer here. Well, I mean, but look at Francis Ngannou. He making more money in boxing. He says he say people want to talk about legacy. What is legacy? If I'm not putting food on the table for my family, if I'm not putting food on the table for putting my kids through school, what's legacy? Fighting for cheap or getting paid? I'm in boxing and and he taking care of his family. Francis Ngannou. He's doing his thing in boxing. So, like HG says, I think what Jake Paul is doing with the fight that's coming up, the MMA fight with Ronda Rousey and them coming up, I think a lot of people, when they finish up their contract, or if they can legally get out of their contract somehow, they gonna be on Jake Paul's side, getting that big bag. I heard Sean O'Malley today, like I was watching an interview with him today. He was saying, man, I don't really want to talk bad about the UFC. You know, I want to have a great relationship with the UFC, but I do want to get paid. But I don't want to piss the UFC off because that's where he getting paid from. I get it. Some people don't want to piss them off, but y'all gonna have to boycott the UFC or something to get that paper, because you see people that has like sort of kind of retired from the UFC or walked away from the UFC. They are making more money than all the guys combined at the UFC that fight on one card. What Jake Paul is doing with the MMA card on Netflix, hey, that's going to be something to see. And it's going to be for the future of future MMA fighters. I don't know how many fights Conor McGregor got left. I think he got 2 on his deal. If I was Conor, I'd just get in, fight them 2 fights, get out, go to Jake Paul. Because the type of level, like to me, Conor McGregor, he's a big talker. He's a seller. He reminds me of Adrian Broner. Like Adrian Broner will sell the hell out of you with this bottle of water. Adrian Broner will sell the hell out of me with this bottle of water. But then when it comes down to it, the taste of this water might not be so good. And that's who Conor McGregor sort of kind of reminds me of. Like, he reminds me like he'll sell the fight, but he might lose. He might, and you never know what's going to come up. But I don't know if the injuries are stacking up or what, but I just feel like really and truly, this card should be better than what it is. This card should be better than what it is. And as a casual, I'm not impressed. As Tom Aspinall, he's not impressed. Ronda Rousey, she's not impressed. The analysts that are true UFC fans are not impressed. The fans are not impressed. HG himself is not impressed with this fight card. As my boy said, this White House card is trash. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people is not impressed with this White House card, but you know, that just is what it is, man. A lot of people is just not impressed with this White House card, man. You know what I mean? But we're going to move the topic on, move this topic right along, right? Because I don't know, we still got time to come. So maybe as time go on, they might can add and tweak a couple of fights or fighters or whatnot. But we need to see. So I don't know. We'll just move right along.
Shout out to Likeable Dialogue.